Part 58. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 571. Boom. 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 In the distance in the void, another wave of terrifying momentum was emanating. At this time, two attacks were rapidly attacking Li Yang. These two attacks, one is a sword light. The sword light is not big, but the power it exudes is extremely terrifying. Like a flying knife, it actually completely cuts the entire sky during its flight. Open. Countless streams of destruction poured down. Another attack was a huge golden hammer. The length of this golden hammer reached several thousand meters. At this time, it looked like countless stars, hitting Li Yang hard. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. Seeing this, Li Yang's expression changed suddenly. He quickly dodged and narrowly avoided the sword light. However, when the golden hammer arrived, he couldn't resist it and was completely hit in the chest by the hammer. Puff. At this time, Li Yang also felt a sharp pain in his internal organs, and a mouthful of blood suddenly spurted out. After attacking, the long sword and golden hammer returned instantly and landed in one place. And there, two strong men appeared again. One is a strong man from the Golden Wing tribe with two wings, and the other is a giant black wolf. The fluctuations emitted by them are no less than those of Shikwei from the Metal tribe, and even the giant black wolf is even stronger. It's Scala, the five-element god of the Golden Wing clan, and Wolf Blood, the five-element god of the Demon clan. Two more gods of the five elements are here. The matter has become a foregone conclusion, and human Lemur will never have the slightest chance to escape. Yes, with so many gods of the five elements, no one can escape. People around were talking. And as they were discussing, terrifying momentum fluctuations continued to appear around them. In the east area, an extremely ferocious giant beast appeared. This giant beast actually had 5 pairs of eyes. The top eye exuded a light like darkness and seemed to be able to swallow everything. In the west area, a dwarf man with a height of less than 1 meter appeared. Although he was not tall, the aura fluctuations emanating from his body were extremely terrifying, enough to make any four-system god tremble. To the south, a giant black python hovered in the void, with sharp barbs all over its body. The scarlet eyes and the ferocious barbs on the body are intimidating. To the north, a tall, mountain-like god with a black wooden stick in his hand appeared. This god looked down like a mountain god, giving people huge oppression. Powerful men appeared like this one after another, and the momentum fluctuations emanating from their bodies reached an extremely terrifying level. They occupied all directions of the void, forming an absolute cage. It seemed like no one could escape from them. Call out! Call out! Call out! Around him, gods from the 4 elements continued to arrive, blocking the void. These gods were besieging Li Yang before and were not far away from Li Yang. But at this time, Li Yang was completely surrounded and they arrived quickly. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. But before leaving here, the strong men who were not interested in chasing Li Yang looked here with horror on their faces. Monster Clan Wolf Blood, Elephant Demon, Metal Clan Mukui, Golden Wing Clan Lu Yuanyan, 11 of them. Oh my god, there are 11 5-element gods here. In addition to the gods of the 5 series, there are more than 30 gods of the 4th series, no, 40, 50. In order to hunt down human Lemur, so many strong men were dispatched. These people's eyes were full of shock. More than 50, no, it should be nearly 100 gods of the 4th series, and a dozen gods of the 5th series. This kind of power, placed anywhere, would make people fearful. And now all these powerful men came over to surround and kill Li Yang, who was only the foundation of the 4 series of gods. This kind of situation rarely happens on the killing battlefield. When this happens, they are all geniuses who are besieging and killing other ethnic groups. For example, human Hungsu was besieged and killed before. So many strong men, it's because the human lemur caused too much carnage before. Yes, he killed more than 100 foreign gods of the third system without any scruples. This completely aroused public outrage. Now comes the lesson for human lemur. On the killing battlefield, even if they need to keep killing, no one is so crazy. One is that they are worried about the opponent hiding their strength, and the other is that they are worried that there are strong men of the same race around the opponent. But the human lemur relied on the top quality detection treasure to kill unscrupulously. This obviously caused outrage. And now, the lesson of human lemur has also come. Surrounded by so many powerful gods, it is obvious that it is about to fall. This further proves that public outrage cannot be caused on a killing battlefield. Even if you are powerful and really cause public anger and are besieged by all the strong men, you will eventually fall. At this time, in the distance, humans Feng Lai and Balan also just arrived. They completely saw the situation here, and their expressions changed obviously. The demon clan Lang Shui and others completely surrounded Lei Mu. Balan said solemnly, "Feng Lai, this plan to rescue Lei Mu has completely failed. More than a dozen gods of the 5th series, nearly 100 gods of the 4th series, how could they shake this power?" At this time, Li Yang was completely surrounded by these gods. No matter what means they had, it was impossible for them to rush into the encirclement. Feng Lai said nothing, looking solemnly into the distance. He wanted to save Li Yang, but he would not take action rashly when he knew it was impossible. More than a dozen 5-element gods, if they unite, he is no match at all. However, Feng Lai said calmly, "Lei Mu is the disciple of Emperor Huo Lai, who is a top emperor, and his teacher is the eternal ancestor. Lei Mu will definitely be resurrected in the future. To become a top powerhouse, you have all kinds of incredible means. And these top powerhouses, if they fully master the law of life, can even resurrect other dead gods. Of course, the cost of this resurrection is very high." Baron said, "Lei Mu may be resurrected in the future, but after resurrection, Lei Mu's cultivation limit will basically be reached. If he dies, after resurrection, there will be a faint suppression between heaven and earth, and the ability to comprehend the law and break through the realm will be hundreds or thousands of times higher than before death. In other words, even if he is really resurrected, his strength before should be the same as before, and it will be difficult to make further progress. This is also the reason why the Demon Clan and other tribes know that Li Yang and Hungsu may be resurrected after death, but they still spend a lot of money to kill them once. Because the resurrected human Li Yang and Hungsu are no longer peerless geniuses. He was showing off his strength for a while and ended up like this." Baron shook his head, looked into the distance and said, "Let Lei Mu learn this lesson this time, so that he won't be so arrogant in the future. It's a pity that the result of this lesson is that all the treasures on Lei Mu's body are lost, including the detection equipment that is comparable to a holy weapon." In his opinion, the loss of these treasures is definitely a huge loss for the human race. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 572. While the 5 human gods Baron and Feng Lai were talking, Li Yang looked at the densely surrounded people and finally stopped. "Human Lemur, run. Why don't you run?" Writing this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. Looking at Li Yang who stopped, the elephant demon, the 5-element god of the demon clan, said with a ferocious expression. He is a powerful 5-element god who has been following Li Yang, but he is completely unable to do anything to Li Yang. As we all know, Li Yang is just the foundation of the 4 series of gods, but he only has special means. However, he is like a demon with a 5-element god, but he can't help a 4-element god. This news will definitely spread. In the future, I don't know how many people will talk about him and laugh at him behind his back. Li Yang glanced at the elephant demon. He looked at the void around him and saw strong men flying in from a distance. At this time, Li Yang was naturally not in a hurry, waiting for more alien gods to arrive. His face darkened for a moment. Li Yang suddenly laughed and said, "Ha ha, Lame you, am really honored to have so many foreign gods, including powerful gods from the fourth and fifth systems, unite to deal with me." Seeing that Li Yang had reached this juncture, he was not afraid at all. Instead, he laughed wildly, and one of the gods suddenly shouted angrily, "Humph! Can you still laugh now? Human Limu, you should have thought of this day when you slaughtered other gods before. Hand over the treasures in your hands and keep your whole body." A series of angry sounds sounded. "Hand over the treasure." After hearing what everyone said, Li Yang smiled and said, "Everyone, there are so many of you here to deal with me. There are 11 gods from the 5 series including the Demon Clan, the Metal Clan, the Golden Wing Clan. There are 2 of the most precious treasures in my body. One is a detection treasure, and the other is a gravity binding treasure. After you kill me, who do you want to give it to?" After his words fell, the expressions of the gods of the 5 elements suddenly changed slightly. Before, Li Yang hadn't caught him yet, and they said it was too early to divide the treasure. But now, Li Yang has been completely surrounded and it is impossible to escape. At this time, he really needs to think about the ownership of the treasure. Needless to say, there are detection treasures. Li Yang, who is only a 4 series god, escaped safely in the hands of the emperor. This is simply the best treasure for grinding and treasure hunting. If you see a top powerhouse, take a detour. In this case, if you are careful, it is almost impossible to fall in the killing field. In addition, Li Yang is barely close to the strength of the 5 series gods. Relying on the gravity binding treasure, he can actually compete with the real 5 series gods and demons. This is another extremely precious treasure. Every god naturally desires these 2 treasures. But with 2 treasures, at most 2 gods can obtain them. For a moment, the gods did not speak, but it seemed that they were transmitting messages consciously. Li Yang was not in a hurry, he kept paying attention to the coming gods of the 4 series. 50, 60, 70. It will take time for the 4 gods to arrive. Li Yang only has one chance to take action, so of course he wants to kill more gods at once. Of course, he still has a second bottle of S-class divine venom, but after the first bottle is used, the remaining powerful gods will definitely flee in fear, and it will be difficult to get them back together again. Look for the best time, just don't take action. Once you take action, you will definitely kill more gods. Li Yang said silently in his heart. The god's reaction speed was very fast, and his chance only lasted a moment. After all, the distance of 10,000 meters is too short for a god. If the figure moves, it will teleport 10,000 meters away. If he didn't get the timing right, he might not even be able to kill a god. Time passed by, and the surroundings rarely became quiet. After a while, the demon clan Wolf Blood finally said, "Okay, everyone, just as I said just now, kill the human Lemu first." "Good. Kill Lemu and see what treasures are left on his body, and then make further calculations." Voices sounded. Then everyone looked at Li Yang, and his aura fluctuated. "Everyone, it seems that you have almost reached an agreement." After hearing what everyone said, Li Yang smiled. "Can I ask about the final ownership of the treasures on my body?" After Li Yang finished speaking, the demon Wolf Blood said calmly, "Human Limu, you don't need to care about the ownership of the treasure. It's useless to know that you have fallen." Boom. The momentum fluctuations on Lang Shue's body burst out instantly, and then he crushed towards Li Yang. "Are you taking action? Can't you delay it any longer?" Looking at the scene in front of him, Li Yang knew that he could no longer delay time. "But I took a look at the gods around me." At this time, there were 12 gods from the 5th series surrounding him, and more than 90 gods from the 4th series. Almost over 100. In fact, there are 17 alien gods from the 5th series who are chasing Li Yang this time, and more than 400 gods from the 4th series. Only a few came at this time. However, Li Yang has no dissatisfaction, and he does not expect that all the alien gods who are besieging him will come here. Moreover, 17 gods of the 5th series and more than 400 gods of the 4th series can only kill 70% of them if a bottle of god venom is used up. That's enough. Thinking silently in his heart, Li Yang looked at the wolf blood whose aura was fully released, and laughed, "Haha, demon wolf blood, your tribe's emperor can't kill me, what can you do?" Li Yang said, but before he finished speaking, Li Yang's figure moved, and the whole person flew towards a place at once. It's already this time, and the human lame still wants to escape. Stop him. Looking at Li Yang's actions, a series of angry shouts came, and the surrounded strong men all subconsciously flew towards Li Yang. At this time, the demon wolf blood was the strongest and fastest, and he appeared in front of Li Yang almost instantly. "Human lame you, let me see how you escape today," Wolf Blood said coldly. He waved the giant hammer in his hand, but when he saw his attack coming, he actually saw a smile on Li Yang's face. "Can you still laugh now?" Seeing this smile, Wolf Blood frowned. But his face changed drastically in an instant. Li Yang in front of him suddenly disappeared, and at the same time, a slight sound came to his ears. Crack, it seemed like something broke, and then Lang Xiu felt that something seemed to be stained on his body. "What is this?" Lang Xiu was slightly puzzled, and at the moment of doubt, he suddenly felt a sharp pain. He could clearly sense that something had entered his body and was looking down at his body madly. Not good. Lang Xiu's face suddenly changed, but as soon as he felt the things in his body, he showed an extremely horrified look in his eyes. No. His eyes were horrified, and then the fluctuations of his breath disappeared completely. The 5-element god of the demon clan, Lang Xiu, fell. Go home, everyone has a good dragon boat festival. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 573. Lang Xiu's face suddenly changed, his eyes were horrified, and then the fluctuations of his breath disappeared completely. The 5-element god of the demon clan, Lang Xiu, fell, and the whole process took less than 1,000th of a second. Not only him, but the other 5-element gods also reacted quickly and quickly realized that something was contaminated in their bodies. What is this? My body is being corroded. God venom. This is, God venom. How is it possible? The faces of these 5-element gods also showed horror and disbelief. And at the moment of showing horror, the fluctuations of their breath disappeared. In a blink of an eye, all 12 5-element gods died. Except for them, the other 4-element gods, not to mention, did not even notice anything. They even flew towards Li Yang by inertia. Some people had clear expressions on their faces. Some of them were very calm, and some had ferocious smiles. The expressions were different, but there was no horror in their eyes, as if they had no idea what had happened in such a short time. And the fluctuations of their breath had completely disappeared. In a short time, the might of all the gods besieging Li Yang in the 10,000-meter area suddenly stopped, and the rage, the sound of releasing attacks, etc. all disappeared. The surroundings suddenly became very quiet. And there were some gods 10,000 meters away who had not had time to step into the 10,000-meter area. They were emitting fluctuations and were also preparing to besiege Li Yang, and 3 gods did not have time to stop their figures and entered the 10,000-meter range. As soon as they entered this range, the life breath on their bodies disappeared instantly. It was like entering the territory of death. As soon as they stepped in, they died silently without even having time to react. The other gods obviously noticed something wrong and stopped their figures in time. When they saw the scene in front of them, their faces suddenly showed incomparable horror. What happened? Wolf Blood, Elephant Demon of the Demon Clan, Myukui of the Metal Clan, Liu Yuanyan of the Golden Wing Clan, these 5-element gods and nearly 100 other 4-element gods, the fluctuations on their bodies, all disappeared. They, all fell. What happened? The 4-element gods who were lucky enough to fall behind looked at the dense corpses in front of them with horror in their eyes, and they could hardly believe what they saw. Nearly 100 4-element gods, and 12 5-element gods, this force, even if the invincible god realm, could not be defeated in a short time. The result was instant death in front of them. The whole process took less than a second. These 4-element gods also have some knowledge. In addition to being terrified, they suddenly thought of something and said in horror, "It's the god Venom." Yes, it's the god Venom. Only the god Venom can kill so many 4-element gods and 5-element gods at once, and the range of the god Venom is exactly 10,000 meters. How is it possible? The human Lameu has the god Venom. The value of this treasure is far beyond the top artifact. Even the invincible god realm can't have it. Boom. 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 After guessing the god Venom, these gods were even more terrified, and their figures retreated violently, not daring to approach here. The god Venom, even the 5-element gods, will die instantly if they are slightly exposed to it. If a gust of wind blows, the remaining god Venom touches them, and they will also fall instantly. Rightward arrow. Of course, the god Venom will not float with the wind. But this is like an ordinary person seeing a poisonous snake. Even if they know that the poisonous snake will not attack people rashly, they are still afraid in their hearts. They feel safer if they stay away from it. At this time, not far away, those neutral alien gods who are not interested in hunting down Li Yang are also looking at this side. Many gods here have joined forces, to kill a human Lameu. Such a scene is not common. They must want to see it well. The demon Langxiu and others have taken action. The human Lameu is about to fall. They were watching, and suddenly saw that the demon Langxiu and many other gods who took action suddenly stopped moving. What's going on? Why did the breath fluctuations of the demon Langxiu and others disappear? They, all fell. How is it possible? God Venom. It's God Venom. These neutral alien gods also showed shock and horror on their faces. They looked at the corpses in the void. In front of these corpses were top-level strongmen, and any one of them was no less than them, but now they all fell. After being shocked, they were also thankful. Fortunately, we didn't chase after the human Lameu before. Yes, if we had chased after him, we would have probably perished. These gods were terrified. They had thought about hunting after the human Lameu before, but they suppressed it. Just before, they met Li Yang and thought about getting a piece of the pie, but they stopped when they saw the 5-element gods one by one. And now, looking at all the 4-element gods and 5-element gods who surrounded and killed the human Lameu, there were more than 100 of them, but only 5 lucky ones survived. Not only this alien god, but also the 5-element gods Feng Lai and Baron were watching this side not far away. Baron shook his head and said, "The aliens have taken action, Feng Lai, let's go." Feng Lai was silent for a moment and nodded. He wanted to save Li Yang, but with so many alien races around, he was powerless. They were about to turn around and leave, when they suddenly saw the demon race Wolf Blood and others who had taken action, and all the fluctuations of their aura disappeared. What happened? Are all the demon race Wolf Blood and others dead? For a moment, Feng Lai and Baron were shocked. Especially Baron, who looked at the distance in great shock. He was very dissatisfied with Li Yang. In his opinion, Li Yang was an idiot who liked to show off. He had no strength, but he had to take the treasure to venture out, and he foolishly exposed his tracks and ended up like this. Nearly 100 4-element gods and a dozen 5-element gods, this force would scare even him and he dared not confront it. However, all these people died. Baron looked into the void. At this time, in front of the densely packed corpses, there was only one figure alive. It was a young man with a calm face, and his face was also lame, which Baron disliked very much. Is this, all a plan by lame? So many alien races died in an instant. Obviously, everything was in Lame-U's calculation. One calculation, nearly 100 4-element gods and 12 5-element gods all died. Looking at the calm young man, Baron suddenly felt a chill in his heart. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 574. Baron had been disgusted with Li Yang before, but now Li Yang made Baron feel a little chill in his heart, and even a little awe in his heart. He, a 5-element god, actually felt awe for Li Yang, a weakling who only had 4-element god foundation. In the void, Li Yang came out of the space tower. The god's venom affects an area of 10,000 meters, and it will disappear completely 3 seconds after it is released. The plan is perfectly successful. At this time, Li Yang's face was calm, and his eyes were full of joy. Just now, he was not absolutely sure to kill most of the gods, but this plan was smoother than he thought. Looking at the front, the bodies of the gods were suspended in the void. 12 5-element gods, 97 4-element gods. Li Yang waved his right hand, and then treasures, attack treasures, defense treasures, speed treasures, and space rings in the void all flew towards him. When they flew, the bodies of these gods disappeared completely. Poisoned by the gods, the bodies of these gods have become as fragile as glass, and will turn into powder with a slight touch, so Li Yang does not have to worry about dealing with the corpses. The alien gods in the distance watched Li Yang collecting treasures one by one. Nearly 100 gods such as the demon Lanxu have fallen, and their treasures have been obtained by the human Lame-Yu. 12 5-element gods, 97 4-element gods, the treasures on them added together are definitely an astronomical figure. Yes, all the treasures added together are probably equivalent to a holy weapon. These alien gods looked at the treasures one by one, and a trace of greed flashed in their eyes. But at this time, they did not dare to approach Li Yang at all, and could only watch Li Yang collect them. Boom! 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 In the distance, suddenly there were waves of terrifying momentum, and other gods arrived. Not only the 4-element gods, but also a 5-element god who rushed over. This 5-element god is a purple giant python, which actually has 2 heads. Human Lame-Yu. After arriving here, the purple giant python happened to see Li Yang collecting treasures, and immediately shouted angrily. It's the 5-element god blood python of the demon race. The blood python's strength is not far from the invincible god realm. It can be said that except for the top invincible god realm in the killing battlefield, the blood python and other first-class strongmen are the strongest. The blood python has been in the core area of the killing battlefield before, and I didn't expect it to come here. It is probably because it wanted to kill the human genius Hungsu before. The opening time of the artifact mountain range is not fixed, sometimes it is opened only once every hundreds of millions of years, so it is impossible for gods to stay here and wait. So every time the artifact mountain range opens, not many people enter it, and there are only about 10 5-element gods, and a few if there is time. Because most of the 5-element gods are in the core area of the killing battlefield. The artifact mountain range is far away from the core area of the killing battlefield, but this time the number of 5-element god strongmen who entered the artifact mountain range reached 30. In fact, many of these came because of Hungsu. Human Lame-Yu. Looking at Li Yang who collected all the treasures, the extremely powerful 5-element god of the demon clan had gloomy eyes that almost dripped water. He knew the plan to encircle and kill Li Yang this time, and just now, there were more than 100 gods, and there were 14 gods of their demon clan. Among them, there were 3 5-element gods. But, just now, 3 5-element gods and 11 4-element gods all died. Human Lameu, hand over all the treasures on Langxiu and others to me. The blood python of the demon race looked at Li Yang, and his angry voice resounded through the void. The death of Langxiu and others is a fact. However, he must not allow the human Lameu to take the treasures of Langxiu and others away again. He knew that the divine venom would completely dissipate 3 seconds after use. This extremely precious treasure, even if he traded all the treasures on his body, it would be impossible to exchange for a bottle. Li Yang has already used a bottle, and he does not believe that Li Yang has another bottle. His strength is not far from the invincibility of the divine realm. Ordinary 5-element gods like the elephant demon will even be easily killed in his hands. Li Yang can make the elephant demon helpless, but there is absolutely no resistance in his hands. The blood python of the demon race, looking at the demon race strongman who came, Li Yang's heart condensed slightly. This is a real top-level strongman, not much different from the strength of his teacher Daolo sect master. Although so, Li Yang laughed and said, "Haha, the blood python of the demon race, who do you think you are? You dare to order me to hand over my treasures? Those are from our demon clan." Hearing what Li Yang said, the blood python shouted even more angrily. "Haha, your demon clan sent strong men to surround and kill me, and now I killed them, so the treasures on them are naturally my Lameu's spoils of war." Facing the furious blood python, Li Yang was not afraid at all and laughed loudly. "Very good." Hearing Li Yang's words, the blood python laughed angrily. "Human Lameu, since you don't want to hand it over, you can stay today." He exuded a terrifying pressure and swept towards Li Yang. However, the blood python's face changed suddenly again in an instant, and his figure retreated violently and quickly moved away from Li Yang. Because, at this time, a bottle appeared in Li Yang's hand, and there was a strange liquid flowing in the bottle. God venom. The blood python looked at the bottle with fear in his eyes. What level is it? God venom has various levels, but only S level makes him afraid. At this time, he recognized the god venom in Li Yang's hand, but he didn't know the specific level. Just now, he didn't dare to take action against Li Yang immediately, because he was afraid of whether there were other god venoms on him. Except for the real invincible strongmen in the god realm, no god can survive under the S-level god venom. If he touches it, he will be killed instantly. Monster blood python, let me introduce you to the bottle of god venom in my hand, and it is S-level. Do you want to take a look? Li Yang smiled. Hearing what Li Yang said, the blood python's face was gloomy. After a few seconds, he said in a deep voice, "Human Lameu, the power released by the god venom is only within a range of 10,000 meters. I can kill you from 10,000 meters away. What can you do?" With his strength, he can do it. Hearing this, Li Yang showed no fear on his face, still smiling, and said, "Demon blood python, I am not afraid to tell you that I have a lot of S-level god venom on me, not just this bottle, I have also hidden god venom in other places, just like I hid it just now. You see, all these gods have entered my encirclement, aren't they all dead?" He had a smile on his face. "If you want the treasures on me, just come. I can kill hundreds of gods including wolf blood at one time, and I also have the ability to get rid of you all at once." Thanks to Banzhengliangliang Daoshang for the 3000 reward, and 08A for the 200 reward, thank you. From the City to the Strongest in the Universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 575. In the void, the sound of Li Yang's wanton laughter was heard. He glanced at the people present, and when they met Li Yang's eyes, they couldn't help but feel a chill in their hearts. Human Lameu still has several bottles of S-level god venom. How is it possible? This kind of precious treasure is extremely expensive, and almost no god can have it. MaleProtagonist might have said it on purpose, but he actually didn't have it. Who knows? Other gods didn't have it, but he took out a bottle, and killed hundreds of 4 series gods and 5 series gods such as wolf blood in one fell swoop. If he can take out the first bottle, maybe he can take out the second and third bottles. The strength of the demon blood python is not far from the invincible god realm. Does he dare to attack the human MaleProtagonist? Many foreign gods looked at Li Yang with fear in their hearts, and then they all looked at the demon blood python. Even the demon wolf blood and others are not opponents in front of the demon blood python. In a real fight, they may even be killed in the end. And would the demon blood python dare to attack the human MaleProtagonist? Hearing Li Yang's words, the demon blood python's face was obviously uncertain. Human MaleProtagonist also hides S-level god venom. God venom is too precious, he thinks it is very likely that Li Yang is lying, but he hesitated and dared not bet. For example, this god venom, even the invincible god realm can't exchange it, but now it appears in Li Yang's hands, which is incredible. Li Yang has other S-level god venoms, this is possible. It's okay if he wins the bet, but if he loses the bet, his blood python will pay with his life. Even if he is resurrected by the top demon powerhouse in the future, it is almost impossible to make progress after resurrection. Therefore, he also eliminated the possibility of breaking through to become an emperor, which he could not accept. The demon blood python's eyes were gloomy. In fact, even if he killed Li Yang and got all the treasures on him, he could not completely control these treasures. If Lang Xiu and others are resurrected, he will definitely return their treasures. In addition, this time, the siege of Li Yang was a joint action of all the major tribes. Now that the gods of these tribes are dead, and he has obtained the treasures on Li Yang, other tribes will definitely take back the treasures lost by the gods in their tribes. In general, even if he kills Li Yang and obtains many treasures on him, these treasures must be returned one by one, and he may not get many contribution points from it. After all, he is also a member of the joint siege of Li Yang. For various reasons, the blood python stopped completely at this time, his eyes were uncertain, and he dared not to take action. ******:** This time, he has a high probability of winning the gamble, but he dare not gamble. In this way, a strange scene appeared in the void at this time. The demon blood python and other gods were all standing on one side. The combined fluctuations they emitted were definitely far greater than Li Yang. The demon blood python was even more frightening to the other 5 gods. On the other side, there was only Li Yang. But Li Yang's face was full of smiles, while the blood python and others were full of fear. Haha, demon blood python, since you don't do anything, I'll leave. Li Yang laughed. Rightward arrow. He thought to himself, fortunately, the noise just now was too big, which frightened the demon blood python. The demon blood python, with this strength, can easily kill him, even if he has the heavy prison mountain. He actually had a little trepidation in his heart. If the demon blood python really attacked recklessly, he would really die here. He could be resurrected if he died, but the treasures on his body would be lost, hundreds of powerful artifacts, and holy artifacts, etc. Once these were lost, Li Yang would definitely not be able to bear it, and his overall strength would probably drop directly. However, the demon blood python obviously did not dare to gamble with the god venom in his hand. The key is that more than 100 gods just died. This situation has a huge impact on any god. Alas, if it is a little later, this demon blood python can also enter within 10,000 meters, how good it would be. Li Yang sighed in his heart. A strong man whose strength is close to the invincible level of the god realm, the level of treasures on him can be imagined. Growing to this point, the blood python must have killed many other gods, and the accumulated treasures can be imagined. Too greedy, this thought came to his mind, and Li Yang shook his head again. Let's go. He did not stop, turned around and flew quickly into the distance. Looking at Li Yang's back, the demon blood python and other gods watched with their eyes wide open, without chasing. Human Lemu left? The five-element demon god, blood python, who is not far from the invincible god level, didn't chase him. Didn't you hear what human Lemu said just now? He still has the god venom on him, and he may even have placed the god venom somewhere. If blood python takes action, he might fall into the trap of human Lemu. Human Lemu is probably lying, but the demon blood python doesn't dare to gamble. If he wins, it's fine. If he loses, blood python will fall directly like the more than 100 gods before. Trap? Everything is a trap. Human Lemu deliberately appeared to attract these alien gods to chase him, and waited for these alien gods to gather in a certain place, and then immediately used the god venom. The scheming of this human Lemu is too terrible. 97 gods of the 4th series, 12 gods of the 5th series. Normally, the death of a god of the 4th series would cause great turmoil, let alone the gods of the 5th series. This time, suddenly in this artifact mountain range so many have fallen. This battle is definitely the battle for human Lemu's fame. Yes, the name of human Lemu will also spread throughout the killing battlefield. One by one, the gods couldn't help but talk, looking at the young figures leaving with awe in their eyes. In the killing battlefield, fighting and fighting are the main themes. Gods are expected to fall in it every day, but there are also strong men who stand out from it. Human Lemu has only entered the killing battlefield for less than a year, and very few people know him. But in this battle, nearly 100 gods of the 4th series and 12 gods of the 5th series fell directly into the hands of human Lemu. This achievement is simply incredible. The Monster Tribe, Metal Tribe, Golden Wing Tribe, etc. jointly pursued and killed them, but the human Lemu suddenly rose up in the killing battlefield by stepping on their corpses. The name of human Lemu will also become a strong person that countless strong people are afraid of. Just as these gods discussed, the battle in the artifact mountain range spread rapidly in a short period of time, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, it spread throughout the entire killing battlefield in less than a day. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 576. In a short time, what happened in the artifact mountain range spread throughout the killing battlefield. What? The demon clan's 5-element gods Wolf Blood, Elephant Demon, the metal clan's 5-element god Shikui and 12 other 5-element gods, and 104-element gods all besieged the human Lemu, but were killed by the human Lemu. More than 100 powerful gods including Wolf Blood all died. Then the human Lemu himself is the foundation of the 4 elements, and he can barely compete with the weakest 5-element god with the many treasures on his body. How is it possible? With such strength, he can't even kill a 5-element god. How could Wolf Blood and others die in his hands? S-level god venom. The human Lemu has S-level god venom. And more than one bottle. Even the demon clan blood python was shocked and didn't dare to act casually. Human Lemu, who is this? How did I, never heard of this name. Human Lemu is a disciple of the human Huolai Emperor. He had been practicing in a secret realm in the human territory before. He just entered the killing battlefield a year ago. As soon as he entered, he killed many alien gods. In just 1 month, he killed more than 103 series gods, so many gods from the demon race and other tribes went to encircle him. Oh my god, this human Lemu is really a madman. So many 3 series gods fell in his hands. So in less than a year, more than 200 powerful gods died in his hands. In the entire killing battlefield, I don't know how many places are talking about Li Yang. Even those invincible gods know the name of the human Lemu. They can barely resist the S-level god venom, but they will also suffer serious injuries. If several bottles of S-level god venom are released together, they may also fall directly. In the demon race, on the extremely huge mountain, a black python's eyes are full of violent aura. What did you say? 3 5-element gods, Langxiu, Xiangmo, and others, have fallen, and 13 4-element gods have also fallen, Man Yuan said angrily, and the violent aura fluctuations on his body could not be suppressed at all. Master Man Yuan. The monster below reported tremblingly, that human Lameu is too insidious. He has S-level god venom on him. He deliberately led Langxiu and others to a place, and then suddenly took out S-level god venom, causing Master Langxiu and others to all die. Hearing this, Mangjia Yuan's face became even gloomier. Damn human Lameu. Before, they sent a large number of strong men to hunt down the human Hungsu, but a human Lameu appeared in the middle of the way and killed their demon gods wantonly. After that, their demons began to surround and kill human Lameu. But in a short period of time, not only did the human Lameu not kill them, but their demons had already lost dozens of gods at the hands of human Lameu, and there were also 3 5-element gods. This blood python is really useless. It was actually frightened by the human Lameu. Since the human Lameu threatened the god's venom, it means that he probably doesn't have the god's venom. Even if he does, he only has one bottle. How could he keep the god's venom in one place? The news just reported also said that the blood python, a strong man with a strength close to the invincible god realm, was actually frightened by the human Lameu and did not dare to attack him. Although attacking may lead to death, more than 90% of the possibility is that the human Lameu will be killed directly. In that case, all the treasures on the human Lameu will be theirs. Their losses will also be greatly compensated. Diamond suit, diamond suit. The result was that the blood python watched the human Lameu leave, making their demon clan a big joke. Lord Man Yuan, what should we do now? The demon beast below asked tremblingly. Hearing this, Man Yuan was silent. After a while, he said directly, you go down, and there is no need to report about Lameu in the future. The monster below was stunned for a moment, but did not dare to hesitate and retreated immediately. In the huge area, only Man Yuan stayed here silently. Human Lameu. He whispered the name. Although his eyes were full of murderous intent, he knew that he really couldn't do anything to this human Lameu in a short time. Human Lameu's strength is not strong, but he has the top-grade detection treasure on him, and even the Emperor can't catch him. Their demon clan had sent out the Emperor before, but eventually returned without success. In addition, now human Lameu has S-level god venom. With these two treasures, human Lameu must be at the top of the killing battlefield, and not many people dare to provoke him. What a human Lameu! In this battle at the Artifact Mountain Range, my demon clan, as well as the Metal clan, the Golden Wing clan, etc., have all become stepping stones for his fame. Man Yuan's eyes were gloomy. Although he was unwilling to admit it, he did think that the human Lameu was a difficult person at this moment. In this battle at the Artifact Mountain Range, the human Lameu rose up strongly by stepping on the corpses of many gods from their demon clan, Metal clan, and other clans. Their demon clan and others are bound to become the jokes of other clans. However, you killed so many gods this time, and you offended too many clans. And you have so many treasures on you, there must be many people who have ideas about you. I'm just waiting to see the day you die, Man Yuan thought coldly. In a short period of time, their demon clan suffered too much loss at the hands of the human Lameu. The loss was so great that he temporarily gave up the pursuit of the human Lameu. If he killed him again, their demon clan might suffer huge losses. It was difficult for the Emperor to catch the human Lameu. Would their demon clan send a master? This was impossible. However, apart from their demon tribe, other tribes must also hate this human Lameu. At this time, Other tribes that suffered huge losses were indeed extremely furious. Human Lemu. 2 5-element gods and 7 4-element gods of our tribe were killed by human Lemu. We must kill human Lemu. If we don't kill human Lemu, our tribe will inevitably become a joke among all the major tribes in the universe. Yes, there must be a lot of treasures on human Lemu who has died with hundreds of gods. Killing him and getting those treasures can make up for the losses of our tribe. Their eyes were full of murderous intent. Of course, in addition to tribes like them who wanted to kill Li Yang more, there were some tribes with another attitude. Human Lemu should not be provoked. Even the Emperor can't find the top-grade detection treasures, and the S-level god Venom. It would be a suicide act for our tribe to send out strong men. Many alien tribes that suffered huge losses at the hands of Li Yang were clearly divided into two attitudes. One is to kill human Lemu, and the second is not to provoke Lemu. With that top-grade detection treasure, the human Lemu is too difficult to kill, so they can only bear it for the time being. Thanks to Zero Eta for the 100 reward, thank you. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 577. The Artifact Mountain Range incident ended, and the human Li Yang rose up strongly by stepping on the corpses of hundreds of 4-element gods and 5-element gods of the demon race and other major alien races. This time, the Artifact Mountain Range is destined to be extraordinary. When people mention the Artifact Mountain Range this time, who got the top artifact, etc., I guess not many people care about this matter. They only pay attention to one name, that is, the human Lemu. The major alien races are angry and fearful, and as for the human race, they are also shocked at this time. Virtual World, Human Race God Alliance Space. The gods of the human race have been paying attention to the situation on Li Yang's side. Knowing that Li Yang was besieged, they also side for Li Yang. Google search Furtkin. Well, let's just treat it as a lesson for Lemu. With Lemu's identity, he will definitely be resurrected in the future. What a pity, the top-grade treasure of the detection type is going to be lost. This is the price of showing off. So many of us think that Lemu should lend the treasure to Feng Lai and others, but he still refused to lend it and insisted on finding it himself. As a result, he didn't find many treasures and even lost his life. The human gods all sighed, and most of them thought that Lemu had brought it upon himself. But then another news came. What? The 5-element gods of the demon clan, Wolf Blood, and others, all died, and there are more than 100 gods. Lemu has S-level god Venom in his hand. After Lemu killed Wolf Blood and others of the demon clan, he collected all the treasures they left behind after their death, and then left calmly under the gaze of many gods such as Blood Python of the demon clan. The entire human god alliance space was suddenly in an uproar. Almost all the gods in the alliance thought that Li Yang liked to show off, and even isolated Li Yang before. In their minds, Li Yang was probably like a clown. As a result, they were the clowns. Those many alien gods who went to hunt down Li Yang not only failed to kill Lemu, but were killed by Lemu instead. And there were more than a dozen 5-element gods among them. All the treasures on these gods were obtained by Li Yang. How high is their value? This is absolutely unimaginable. Even the artifacts of the entire Artifact Mountain Range are probably not as good as those on the more than 100 fallen gods. In addition to being shocked, these people immediately regretted it. We isolated Lemu before, but Lemu did not lend the detection treasure, obviously he had his own plans. Yes, if he had lent it, there would be no such record. We are really short-sighted. They all thought that Li Yang was showing off before, but now it seems that Li Yang obviously has his own plans in mind. Killing more than 100 gods in one fell swoop, and they are 4-element gods and 5-element gods. Such a record, even Feng Lai can't do it at all. After feeling regretful, they all went to find Kuei Yan. Kuei Yan, Where is Lemu now? Why don't you find him to enter the virtual world? Yes, we were wrong to isolate Lemu before, we came to apologize to him. These people went to Kuei Yan and said. Because Li Yang caused too much noise, they were eager to improve their relationship with Li Yang. At this time, Kuei Yan's eyes were also full of shock, obviously shocked by Li Yang's record. But then he was surprised again, he did not isolate Li Yang before, and he had a good relationship with Li Yang. Looking at the people in front of him, Kuei Yan said, I sent a message to Lemu, but Lemu has no time to enter now. No time. When Lemu enters here, Kuei Yan, you have to notify us. Hearing Kuei Yan's words, these people said again. At this time, Li Yang really has no time. Now he is respectfully staying in the palace of the Eternal Ancestor. The Eternal Ancestor has been paying attention to Li Yang, paying attention to his youngest disciple. Before, Li Yang's record in the Artifact Mountain range surprised him slightly. Others didn't know, but he knew that Li Yang had been practicing for less than 100 years and was only in the world realm. This time, Li Yang, who had been practicing for less than 100 years and was in the world realm, actually killed hundreds of 4-element gods and 5-element gods at once. Teacher, I got the opportunity land left by Heizhou before, and got 2 bottles of S-level god venom. Li Yang stood respectfully in front of the Eternal Ancestor and said, I relied on the 3 treasures of the Heavy Prison Mountain, the Space Tower, and the god venom to lead the gods of the alien race who were chasing me to one place step by step, and then killed them instantly. Hearing Li Yang's words, the Eternal Ancestor nodded and said, I know Heizhou. He is a special god without a tribe, and he has now become a master. Master. Hearing the words of the Eternal Ancestor, Li Yang was shocked. This Heizhou has become a powerful master? However, thinking about the fact that Heizhou was invincible in the god realm, he could easily defeat other invincible god realm masters. After becoming the emperor, he left treasures such as god venom and space tower without hesitation. These clearly show that Heizhou is extraordinary. It seems that it is not difficult to understand that he can become the master. This time, you killed more than 100 gods. You should have gained a lot, right? Asked the Eternal Ancestor. Thinking of his own gains, Li Yang was also happy in his heart. He said respectfully, my disciples' gains are indeed quite large. The Eternal Ancestor said, your 13th brother will meet you in about 3 days. At that time, you can trade all the treasures you don't need to him and let him estimate the value of these treasures. Li Yang and the 13th brother had agreed to meet in a month, but Li Yang encountered various things during this period, and even arranged a plan to hunt alien gods. As for Li Yang's 13th brother, he also encountered some things during this period, which delayed him for a while, resulting in no meeting yet. You are lucky. Your 13th brother found a place in the killing battlefield this time. There are a lot of purple gold ores suitable for the growth of gold-eating insects. Purple gold ore, hearing this, Li Yang's eyes lit up. This purple gold ore is very suitable for gold-eating insects to devour and grow. Thank you, teacher, Li Yang said. Well, go. This time, the Eternal Ancestor called Li Yang over just to ask him how he killed hundreds of 4 series and 5 series gods of alien races, so he didn't say a few words. Disciple, I'm leaving. Li Yang left respectfully. In the depths of the huge palace, the Eternal Ancestor stood silently. A smile appeared on his lips. Li Yang, who is only in the world realm, has made such a big fuss. It's really surprising. The Eternal Ancestor had a rare smile on his face. Even if Li Yang killed hundreds of 4-element gods and 5-element gods in one fell swoop this time, he relied on various trump cards such as the god venom. However, Li Yang is only in the world realm after all, and his cultivation has not exceeded 100 years. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 578. Li Yang has the foundation of the four series of gods, but it is based on the absorption of the blood essence and blood of the ancestor dragon and the god crystal that greatly increases his strength. You can redeem the blood essence and blood of the ancestral dragon at any time in the human race's treasury, but the blood essence and blood of the ancestral dragon is there, and if others can't refine it, there's nothing you can do. Li Yang was able to refine so much because Li Yang did it on his own and without any cheating methods. And even if it is refined, Li Yang is only the foundation of the four series of gods. Of the hundreds of foreign gods killed this time, the weakest ones were all four series gods. Given the same conditions to others, others may not be able to create such a miracle. If the world realm can reach this level, when Li Yang truly becomes a god. A smile appeared on the face of the eternal ancestor. He knew that Li Yang had many clones, even gods, and it would be easy to become a god in the future. It seems that our human race is about to produce another strong man who will cause headaches to countless alien races. With the world tree clone, Li Yang is destined to be impossible to fall, and with Li Yang's current growth rate, he will definitely cause headaches to many foreign races in the future. After meeting with the eternal ancestor, Li Yang came to the sword slaughter sect master. Li Yang, come on. Seeing Li Yang arriving, the leader of the sword slaughter sect quickly waved. Tell me, master, what happened in the artifact mountain range? Previously, because he was worried about entering, he specifically entered the space of the Alliance of Human Gods to inquire about Li Yang. The final result came. Li Yang killed hundreds of gods who besieged him in one fell swoop. This achievement shocked the leader of the sword slaughter sect. He knew Li Yang's trump card, he couldn't even kill the gods of the fourth series, let alone the gods of the fifth series. Gods of the five elements are not weak. Even among the top ethnic groups in the universe like the human race, they are considered middle level. In a group like the Divine Tree of Time and the Divine Beast of Fire, where the only strongest person is the Emperor, they can definitely be considered high level. After confirming that Li Yang was safe, he quickly sent a message to Li Yang to give him time to enter the virtual world. Teacher, don't worry, please listen to the disciples one by one, Li Yang said with a smile. He told the story quickly. Oh. S-class god Venom. There are also treasures such as Heavy Prison Mountain. Hearing what Li Yang said, the leader of Daolo sect's eyes lit up and said, this treasure left by Heizhou is indeed extraordinary. His disciples' overall strength suddenly increased a lot because of the many treasures left by he is who. After praising him, the leader of the sword slaughter sect added, this blood python of the demon clan is still so timid and cautious. My disciple was so frightened that he did not dare to do anything. Hearing this, Li Yang asked curiously, Teacher, does he know the demon blood python? Yes. The leader of the sword-killing sect nodded and smiled. Back then, I was also training in the killing battlefield. The blood python at that time was the top powerhouse in the killing field. It was stronger than my teacher. I also used similar moves to kill him. The blood python was frightened away. On the killing battlefield, many gods stayed there for who knows how long, or even hundreds of millions of years. Therefore, it is normal that there are powerful gods competing with the original sword slaughter sect masters on the killing battlefield. After saying a few words, the leader of the Daolo sect asked, Li Yang, after leaving the artifact mountain range, where are you going to sharpen your skills? Li Yang thought for a moment and said, Teacher, this disciple is going to the core of the killing battlefield. His strength has now reached the level of a 5 series god, and he still has many trump cards. Since it is training, he must go to a suitable place. And in the core of the killing battlefield, there is where the 5 series of gods gather. Hearing this, the leader of the Daolo sect nodded and said, even if you don't say anything, the teacher will advise you to go there. He looked at Li Yang and said, there are invincible powerhouses in the divine realm at the core of the killing battlefield. Do you know why they stay there? Hearing this, Li Yang shook his head and said, Teacher, I don't know. There was a trace of curiosity in his eyes, as if there were any secrets hidden in the core of the killing battlefield. The leader of the sword slaughter sect didn't play charades and said directly, because of the fusion law token. Fusion law token. Li Yang was even more confused, but he didn't speak and listened quietly. Li Yang, you know that after passing the divine realm, if you want to break through to the emperor level, you need to integrate the law. Disciple knows. Li Yang nodded. Those who understand one kind of law are the gods of the first system, and those who understand two kinds of laws are the gods of the second system, and if you want to break through and become an emperor, you need to understand the law of fusion. What is the law of fusion? That is the fusion of two laws. For example, if a god understands the laws of space and time, if he can partially integrate these two laws, he can become an emperor. Of course, the integration of the laws of space and the laws of time is one way, and there is also the integration of the laws of light and the laws of darkness. In addition, the fusion of laws is not fixed. The most common ones in the universe are the 5-element laws such as metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. These 5-element laws can be integrated with any law. For example, the laws of space can be integrated with the laws of the metal system, the laws of space can be integrated with the laws of the wood system, and so on. There are many ways to integrate laws. It depends on which ones you are good at and choose the one you are best at, so that you can progress faster. Li Yang already knew this before. To break through and become an emperor, you don't need to completely integrate the two laws. That is too difficult, but you still need to integrate a small part. But it is this small part that has stumped almost all the gods, including me, the teacher master of the sword slaughter section road. He is also invincible in the god realm, and is stuck at this step. However, in the universe, there is a super inheritance place known to countless races. This is not the one in the killing field, but another one. That super inheritance place is about the law of fusion, Daolu sect master said. Another super inheritance place. Li Yang was shocked. The super inheritance place in the killing field is the inheritance of the 14 systems of laws, and the one Daolu sect master said is about the inheritance of the law of fusion. One set of laws can be perfectly displayed, but it is difficult to integrate laws. Even our human race has a place for the inheritance of integrated laws, but it is very crude. The same is true for other races. No race can present the inheritance of integrated laws, but that super inheritance place has done it, and it is a perfect inheritance. Inheritance of space and time laws. Inheritance of space and gold laws. Inheritance of space and wood laws. If you enter the super inheritance place of integrated laws, the difficulty of breaking through to become an emperor will be reduced by at least 100 or 1,000 times. The leader of Daolo sighed, which god doesn't want to enter such an inheritance place? Thanks to Zero Eta for the 100 rewards, thank you. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 579. Li Yang was obviously surprised when he heard what the leader of the sword slaughter sect said. The difficulty of breaking through to become an emperor is reduced by 100 times. 1,000 times. The emperor is a middle-level and high-level person in the human race. Except for the 10 top ethnic groups in the universe such as the human race and the demon race, the emperor is an absolute high-level person in any other ethnic group. But it is very difficult to become an emperor now. The huge human race does not know how many years it will take for one to appear. The human race has developed for countless years and has had countless emperors. Not one of the 10,000 gods can become an emperor. Is there such a strange place in the universe? It can greatly reduce the difficulty of breaking through and becoming an emperor. Li Yang was shocked. At this moment, he thought about something. Teacher, is there a relationship between the core of the killing battlefield and that super inheritance place? Just now, the leader of the sword-killing sect was talking about the specialness of the core place of the killing fields, and then suddenly mentioned this place of inheritance. There must be some connection between the two. Right. The leader of the sword-killing sect nodded and said, that super inheritance place of fusion law is very special. Just like the super inheritance place on the killing battlefield, you also need a token to enter it. You also need a token. Hearing this, Li Yang's heart moved again. There seems to be some connection between these two super heritage places. And this token will sometimes appear at the core of the killing battlefield. The leader of the sword slaughter sect said. He finally revealed the special place of the killing fields. The leader of the sword-killing sect sighed, for the powerful gods, nothing is more important than breaking through to the emperor, so many powerful gods are concentrated in that core place and place their hopes on the fusion law inheritance token. That's it. Li Yang nodded. Becoming an emperor is the desire of all gods, so many emperors are concentrated in the core of the killing battlefield, eager to meet one. The leader of the sword-killing sect continued, the inheritance token of the fusion law is of great help for gods to break through and become emperors. As for world-level people like you, it is actually of great help. The fusion law presents the law with incomparable clarity. Once you understand the law, you will definitely make huge progress. Moreover, you can still try to integrate the law before you have completely mastered it, and it will not affect the speed of progress. There once was a strong man who began to integrate laws in the world realm. In just 10 years, he broke through and became a god. He also directly broke through and became an emperor, which shocked the universe. Li Yang was shocked when he heard this. Becoming an emperor 10 years after becoming a god. It only took 10 years to go from the world realm to the emperor. This rate of progress was unparalleled. So, Li Yang, if you get the fusion law inheritance token now, you can definitely go to that super inheritance place, the leader of the sword-killing sect said with a smile. Li Yang nodded. He suddenly thought of something and asked, Teacher, you should also need the fusion law inheritance token, right? The leader of the sword-killing sect nodded and said, it is indeed needed, but that was before, and it is not needed now. He had a smile on his face. Hearing this, Li Yang's heart moved. Teacher, are you going to break through to the emperor? There was a hint of surprise in his eyes. Well, I have been trying to make an impact recently. If nothing happens, I will be able to break through within a year, the leader of the Daolo sect said with a smile. Rely on opportunities to help break through. Of course, you can still break through bottlenecks by relying on yourself. Rightward arrow. The master of the sword-killing sect had already become an invincible powerhouse in the realm of gods many years ago. For them, sometimes when enlightenment suddenly arrives, they may just let nature take its course and achieve a breakthrough. After hearing what the leader of the Daolo sect said, Li Yang was immediately surprised and said, this disciple is here to congratulate the teacher in advance on his successful breakthrough. The sword sect master was very kind to him, and of course he hoped that the sword slaughter sect master would be stronger. The leader of the sword-killing sect smiled and said, Li Yang, in fact, even if I cannot break through, I will not stay at the core of the killing battlefield for a long time. The fusion law inheritance token rarely appears. Even if it appears, only one strong person will get it, so there is no need to have high hopes. If it is really that easy to obtain, it is estimated that all the 5 gods in the entire universe will go there. This is obviously impossible. The people who stay there are also prepared to stay there for hundreds of millions of years. My master hopes that you will enter the core of the killing fields mainly for training. In addition to this fusion law inheritance token, there are many opportunities in the entire core of the killing fields. For example, the opportunities in the artifact mountain range looked very big. But in the core of the killing battlefield, it may appear once every 1,000 years. The leader of the sword-killing sect looked at Li Yang and warned. Li Yang nodded and said, I know, teacher. The core of the killing battlefield, Li Yang's eyes flashed silently. With his strength reaching his current level, it would be no fun to torture others in other parts of the killing fields. It would be fun in the core place. The leader of the sword slaughter sect continued, in addition, there are many strong people gathered in the core of the killing battlefield, and there are at least a dozen strong people at the invincible level of the gods, so many people choose to join forces, whether it is to temper themselves or to seize opportunities, it is a joint effort. The strength is a little weak, so don't act alone at the beginning. Although the five-element gods of all ethnic groups in the entire universe will not all enter the core of the killing battlefield, there are still many people who actually go there, and the number of five-element gods there is also an astonishing number. There are even more than a dozen invincible level experts in the divine realm. It can be seen that there are so many strong people there. My master has found a god of the five elements for you. When you approach the core of the killing battlefield, that person will pick you up. Then you will join that god's team. The leader of the Daolo sect said, this way we can maximize our own safety. I understand, teacher. Li Yang nodded. After talking to the leader of the sword slaughter sect, Li Yang came to the space of the Alliance of Human Gods again. When the incident in the Artifact Mountain range broke out, countless people sent him messages. Those who had previously isolated him also sent him messages to solemnly apologize. Although Li Yang doesn't have much affection for these people, there are still Kuei Yan and several other friends in the Human Gods Alliance space, so it's impossible for him not to come in. It's Limu. Limu finally entered the Alliance space. As soon as they saw Li Yang come in, everyone in the Human Gods Alliance space immediately looked at him. Then many gods came over. Limu, it was our fault before. We didn't know you had any other means. One by one, the gods looked at Li Yang and said quickly. Now no one in the alliance looks down upon Li Yang, who killed more than 100 gods of the 4th and 5th series at once. This record is too scary. From the city to the strongest in the universe. Author, G. Difeng Ren. Chapter 580. Now, the name of the human Limu is spreading, and they will not continue to make mistakes because of the previous mistakes. Looking at the people who apologized one by one, Li Yang smiled and said, it's okay, I also concealed my own affairs. He didn't fall out with many gods of the human race. Limu, the matter of the god's venom must be concealed. Yes, if it is not concealed, we can't kill so many aliens this time. Hearing what Li Yang said, these gods hurriedly said, and Li Yang was perfunctory. Google searched Can. These gods talked for a while, and seeing that Li Yang didn't want to say more, they didn't say much nonsense. After a few words, they kept leaving. In the end, only Li Yang and Kuei Yan and a few others were left. Limu, you really scared us this time, Kuei Yan sighed. He was completely shocked by Li Yang's strength. By the way, Limu, you got so many treasures this time, do you plan to trade them? Everyone knows that Li Yang has at least hundreds of artifacts on him this time. There must be many people interested in the artifacts on Li Yang. Hearing this, Li Yang smiled and said, Kuei Yan, the artifacts on my body have other uses, so I won't trade them. He used those artifacts to trade for gold-eating insect resources, so it was impossible to trade them with others. I. Li Yang knew that there might be gods who wanted to trade the artifacts in his hands with him in the future. Now he said it directly and spread it through Kuei Yan's mouth, so that this situation could be prevented. Okay, Kuei Yan nodded after hearing what Li Yang said. According to the news, Li Yang is a disciple of the top emperor Huolai Emperor, who can definitely handle the treasures on his body perfectly for Li Yang, so it is normal for him not to trade. Li Yang withdrew from the Human God Alliance space after not staying for long. In an extremely remote place in the killing battlefield, Li Yang's face was full of smiles, and he was constantly counting his gains. Before, As soon as the news of the artifact mountain range came out, the eternal ancestor summoned him, and then he went to see the sword slaughter sect master and went to the human god alliance space. Until now, he didn't know how many treasures he had obtained. There are 750 ordinary artifacts, 570 medium artifacts, 313 high-level artifacts, and 23 top-level artifacts. Li Yang took inventory and his eyes showed great excitement. Before, he killed more than 100 alien 3 series gods and got only a few high-level artifacts, but now, there are more than 200 high-level artifacts. Haha, worthy of being a 4 series god or a 5 series god. The stronger the strength, the more treasures he has. Li Yang can kill other gods, and these 4 series gods and 5 series gods can also kill other weak gods. After a long period of accumulation, you can see the wealth on him. All these together can satisfy more than 90% of the resources for the evolution of the gold-eating worms, right? Li Yang had a rough idea of the huge amount of resources needed for the evolution of the gold-eating worms, and the numerous artifacts in front of him, even 23 top artifacts, etc. These added together are also inestimable and sky-high resources. However, there is still a little bit missing from cultivating the gold-eating worms, but not much, at most 10% left. Continue to count, the remaining resources should be able to meet the last 10%. Li Yang looked at the space rings. Artifacts are just the weapons of these gods. In addition, they must have other precious treasures. For example, healing holy fruits, spiritual fruits, and herbs that increase strength, etc. Each of these 4 element gods has a lot of treasures. Li Yang quickly counted the space rings. Each space ring has a great harvest. The 4 element gods are already extremely powerful in the killing battlefield, and it is difficult for them to fall. Over the long years, you can imagine how many treasures they have accumulated. But now, all the wealth on them belongs to Li Yang. In fact, it is difficult for such a thing to happen on the battlefield. Even if it is an invincible strongman in the god realm, it is impossible to kill so many gods at once and get so many treasures at one time. After all, facing a strong man, no one is stupid enough to choose to unite to deal with him. Li Yang's previous strength was only the foundation of the 4-element god. Even if he could match the 5-element god, he was the weakest 5-element god. His previous wanton killing caused the anger of the alien race, and the detection equipment on his body was comparable to a holy weapon, which made many top strongmen go to encircle him. Others did not expect that Li Yang also had the S-level god venom that the invincible strongman in the god realm could not have. Relying on Han Mo's master-level soul detection and S-level god venom, Li Yang perfectly arranged the trap. This is how he killed so many 4-element gods and 5-element gods in one fell swoop. If Li Yang is given another chance, he may not be able to replicate this success. Li Yang was surprised from time to time as he explored the space rings one by one. Huh? There is still a drop of ancestral dragon blood in the space ring of this metal clan god. Li Yang was looking at it. He was refining the ancestral dragon blood, and naturally there were strong people from other clans who could refine it. This drop of ancestral dragon blood is probably equivalent to 1 or 2 top artifacts. Li Yang was delighted. He can apply for the ancestral dragon blood essence for free in the eternal ancestor of the human race, but this free application can only be used by himself and cannot be given to others. However, this drop of ancestral dragon blood essence in front of him was obtained by Li Yang himself, so of course he can sell it. Li Yang put away the ancestral dragon blood essence and continued to explore. After that, he actually got a few more drops of ancestral dragon blood essence. If the ancestral dragon blood essence is refined, the power of the gods will increase dramatically. Li Yang, who is in the world realm, refined less than 3 drops, and without relying on the god crystal, his foundation exceeded the 3 series god. With the addition of the god crystal, his own foundation has perfectly reached the level of the 4 series god. Of course, the gods of other tribes want to try to refine it. After exploring 100 space rings, Li Yang actually got 9 drops of ancestral dragon blood essence. These are completely equivalent to more than a dozen top artifacts. Haha, take out a few drops of these ancestral dragon blood essence, and my resources for cultivating gold-eating insects will be completely gathered. At this time, Li Yang was full of excitement. The treasures in the space rings of these alien gods are almost as valuable as artifacts. There are only 9 5-element gods left. Li Yang continued to count. At this time, he was like opening a blind box, and he could encounter surprises from time to time. At this time, Li Yang opened the space ring of Shikuei of the Metal Clan. Shikuei's strength is several times stronger than that of ordinary 5-element gods. After taking a look, Li Yang's heart moved, and a strange crystalline stone appeared in his hand. This stone vaguely exudes a series of power, and the fluctuations alone are far beyond the level of ordinary gods. Thanks to Guiden Kenshu for the 10,000 reward, thanks to Bancheng Daoshang for the 1,500 reward, and thanks to 08 for the 100 reward. Thank you.